A new week has begun, and I'm sitting in the car listening to, what am I listening to? How to Change by Katie Milkman. I wonder who her father was. Anyway, it's okay. I got turned off a bit by the introduction or foreword by Angela Duckworth, who wrote the book Grit, and I like Angela's work. And Katie is apparently a friend of hers, and she said that Katie is the smartest person she's ever met, the hardest working person she's ever met, the most accomplished person she's ever met. And it was a bit strange to have that in the foreword, because then you expect this incredible book. And so far, 2 hours in, it's not an incredible book. It's okay. There's some useful information in it, but again, all of the tools that she's providing work for someone who is clearly cemented into their identity. But if you can dissociate a bit and step out of your identity, be very flexible with your identity, these tools don't have nearly as much power, and they're far better solutions. But it's okay for people who don't realize that they can step out of the story that they're in. Which is most people, I guess. Anyway, I am heading up to the studio to begin my work day. It's rather chilly. It's in the teens, but it's January. We still don't have our snow back, so I can't go skiing. Maybe I'll go up in the mountain and boot slog in the frozen tundra with some ski poles. I don't know. We'll see. But the polling machine and watching the Tour de Ski is far more interesting. All right, see you in a bit. I'm looking out the window, and it looks like they may have gotten some more snow at elevation, so I'm going to check out the prospectmountain.com trail cam and see what it looks like. It looks good and white. Let's blow that up, see if we can see ski tracks. I see people! There are people skiing or falling. It doesn't look like much snow on the roofs of the buildings, but I don't see any bare spots. Are they open? Oh, if I could ski today, that would be so nice. Conditions. We are open! Yes! I'm going skiing. And here we are, 2,250 feet above sea level. And Prospect looks like they got more snow on the summit even. There's actually quite a few people here. The thing about coming in the lodge is the blast from the past on the wall. 1992, and there's me as a young coach. And 1992 again. There I am. Here's 1994 as the coach. 1993 as the coach. 1995 as the coach. We were Vermont State champions all those years. We've got about 1.5 km of amazing skiing, and then the rest isn't so great. So I'm going back and forth. Good skiing. Did 15K with Todd Eastman, who used to be a professional skier. I think he's in his mid-60s now, but still phenomenal technician. So he basically gave me a master's class. We skied back and forth on like 1.5 kilometers of really nice snow. The rest of the trails weren't great, but he taught me a lot, so it was fun. And my broken thumb is frozen. Oh my God, it stings. It's ski time. Got the lodge all to myself. I just bumped into Dave Johnston, who is the Masters World Champion a couple years back for over 60. I used to race against him when I was in high school. He was the 20-something that would just destroy all of the high school and college kids. I'm going to do a little technique work on this hill. It's about an 8% slope. And I'm going to do some easy V2, easy V1, hop skate V1, and Simon Kruger V2 at the end. We'll see if I look anything like him at all. Highly unlikely, but I'm going to try. That's a fun pattern on my windshield. I've never seen anything like that before. Wavy. I'm up at Prospect a little earlier than usual today. Dave Johnston wanted to do some intervals with me today, and he gets up here at 10 a.m. So I'm up here early. It's chilly. It's about 14 degrees Fahrenheit, which makes the snow a little slower. And it's also kind of bumpy because they can't really groom it due to the thin cover. So it just kind of hardens in bumpy ski ruts. So I'm going to do some intervals with Dave, who I think is 69 years old, but he's the world champion for Masters 60 and over, so he's a beast. Anyway, going to work on technique and do some intervals. Skiing with shorter poles today. I wanted to try that. These, I think, are 157 centimeters. The ones I've been skiing on are 163. So I want to see what happens with shorter poles, if I can keep my traps from engaging, because I'm shrugging when I'm trying to V2 uphill, and I don't want to be shrugging. So we'll see if the short poles fix that. A lot of legends have trained here at Prospect. The latest being Andy Newell, who was on the team when I was coach. He was in 8th grade, and he would train with my high school team. His brother and sister were on my team. I'm at the studio pretty early today because I have to be my mom's chauffeur to Albany, New York, taking her to see a doctor over there. And it's going to snow, so the roads are going to be not too good. So I'll do the driving. Anyway, I'm going to try to get some polling done, maybe some elliptical, just point myself in that direction, see what happens, and do some work. Hanging out at the Albany Medical Center, waiting for my mom to finish her appointment, and then heading back. It's been a day of driving, sitting, waiting, reading, and gray and rainy. Hopefully the rain doesn't wash all the snow away. It's Friday the 13th, and it's 50 degrees Fahrenheit, 10 degrees Celsius, and raining, and the snow in the mountain has turned to icy slush. And I got a letter last night from the new owner of the mill, where my studio is. A buddy of mine had owned the mill up until recently, and he retired and sold it. And now they have the ability to raise my rent as much as they want. There are no rent control laws in Vermont. So I want to try to have a meeting, excuse me, today. But I'm nervous. My brain is running all these simulations of rent just doubling or tripling and me losing the studio. So that's part of where I'm starting out today. I also just finished the book How to Change by Katie Milkman, and change, yeah. Maybe some big changes here. So I'm going to sit here for a moment longer, do the book review, go upstairs, get some movement in, and then see if I can set up a meeting with the landlord and negotiate a reasonable rent increase. So today I'm doing 5 minutes of polling. I hop on, I do 4 close grip pull-ups, and then I'm coming in here and doing dips. And the goal was between 7 and 10, but I seem to be getting 11 for whatever reason. So 5 minutes of polling, 4 close grip pull-ups, 11 dips. Now, I don't want to go to failure in any of my exercises. That allows me to keep doing them. So it's more gentle. My dip bar, if you're wondering, is a trampoline that I salvaged from the dump, the metal pile at the dump. And I have the curved parts down here. So these form the circular frame. They're arcing, and because they're arcing out, they give good stability. So I have 2 of those inside of the connectors, and then 2 of the straight bars going back to a piece of wood that I put on one of my shelves, and it makes a fantastic dip bar for free. Big day of upper body training today. Bit harder than I would normally go with the polling, but I'm trying that new polling technique. I just got back from another OT, occupational therapy appointment, and I've been upgraded to blue putty, which is the strongest putty that they carry. It's not the strongest that they make. They make a purple putty, but she said that there's no point in having it in a therapeutic setting because it's so strong that if you can do the purple putty, you don't need to be in therapy. So this is the last step in the therapeutic process, the blue. And I love this stuff. And of course, I want to get some purple putty because I want to see how difficult it is. Okay, so what she had me doing today was taking plastic beads and burying them in the putty and then getting them out. So I went to Dollar Tree, got some metallic looking beads because I thought gold and blue, it's a nice combination. And I'm going to show you the bury the bead and dig it out game. Okay, so what she's having me do with this is to make a flat cookie of sorts. Oh, this putty is super firm. Wow. Okay, I'm gonna make a cookie. Don't eat it. Then I'm going to take some beads, metallic beads that I got at the dollar store. I'm going to take 10 of them and embed them in the cookie. Hey. Hey! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Start widewise, 9, and 10. Now what I do is I squish them up in there. So they're buried in here. Just using the thumb and a couple other fingers, I have to one by one find those beads and pull them out. I can stabilize it with my other hand, but the bulk of the work is going to be done with the injured thumb and forefinger. And I have to find each one and take them out. Fortunately, this putty is not sticky, so when they come out, there's nothing really attached to them. So they're pretty clean. There's 1. 9 to go. So this is a fun exercise. You're really digging. You're exploring, hunting buried treasure, digging around. And it takes a long time to get all 10 just to find them. It took me like 5 minutes in the office. It's Sunday morning. I'm at the studio rather early trying to get some work done and some polling so that I can go to my family's house for Sunday brunch at 11, which is a tradition in my family. My mom likes to make me a tofu scramble. Not really a fan, but she thinks that I need to eat something egg-like, so she makes a scramble, and I eat it to make her happy, but not my first choice of food. But she does put a lot of broccoli and kale in it, so that's good. Anyway, time to jump into some writing projects, and then the pulling machine, and then toes to bar, my new favorite exercise.
And the top layer dried out and white.
Got a fox in a box today. Hey, fox. I see a little eyeball. Every now and again, I'll add a new exercise to my menu of options. And this one is called toes to bar. You'll see it in CrossFit gyms or CrossFit competitions if you watch those on YouTube. And I do it differently than you're going to see them do it. I'm not swinging, I'm not kipping. My goal is time under tension. So I want tension throughout, and I want this to just be an entire upper body and core exercise. So I don't want to swing to try to finish the rep. If I can't finish the rep, then I can't finish the rep. This is a new exercise for me, so doing 5 is incredibly difficult. So I do sets of 3 or 4 because I don't ever want to go to failure. And what I do is I grab my neutral grip pull-up bars, which you probably can't see. I'll take those out. So this is a neutral grip, this is a pronated grip, this is a supinated grip. So chin-ups are supinated, regular pull-ups are pronated, and then your neutral, which is more like a cross-country skiing poling position. So I like the neutral grip pull-ups. So I'm gonna pop those back in. I'm gonna start with a hang, then I'm gonna activate my scapula to stabilize my core and upper body. And then I'm gonna start bringing my toes up slowly and then down slowly. It's exhausting. So you start to swing a little bit, so let myself go into a full hang, activate my scapula, and then toes up. Not quite 4. That is an entire upper body exercise. I feel it on my chest, my lats, my biceps, my forearms, brutal through my core. Even my lower back gets a great workout. So that is something I'm going to do on a regular basis. Today I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 sets of 4, and that was like 3.5 for a 12th set. And I do those maybe every other day, and I'm hoping to get up to be able to do 10, 20 or more and really get strong through here. The light's not great over here, but I wanted to show you my training board. For some reason, I do 5 weeks up here, not 4, but 5. And I guess the reason is that I can go back and look and see what I did 3 weeks ago, or 4, or even 5 weeks ago. And I break it into 7 columns, starting Monday and going all the way across to Sundays. And you can see this week was rather light for me. And you can see some weeks go pretty heavy, like that's 38 pounds added on my chin-ups. And then some days I just do a ton, and then a ton, and then not so much, and then quite a bit, and then quite a bit. This was a big day. Anyway, it's fun to look around and kind of get a general idea of how my body wants to engage in movement, but I do something every single day. It's about 8 p.m. and I am going to call it a day and head home, get some dinner. And it was a good tapering week. I still ended up with about 18 hours of training, which is still incredibly high volume, but I'm coming down from my 26 to 24 hour weeks that I was doing. So last week I think was about 21, this week about 18. Next week, I don't know, I don't plan this. So we'll see what my body wants to do and how I want to engage, but I'm feeling good. And the interesting thing is, with a slight decrease in training and an increase in protein intake, I'm noticing a shift in my body. I'm starting to feel and look bigger, stronger, like I'm noticing my muscles rebounding, which is fascinating. So we'll talk more about that in the week to come. Anyway, I'm going to wrap it up for now. I hope you're doing well. Let me know in the comments below what you're working on, what you're working towards, what you might be struggling with, and I will see you soon.